Tonight, you don't just watch the news, you become part of the stories everybody's talking about right now. Some students in New Mexico said enough is enough, and they're tired of those states' standardized tests. From Las Cruces to Albuquerque, they walked out in protest. This one has you talking tonight like Omar, saying these kids don't even realize the value of an education. And Jimmy, who says, good for them. Our children need to be preparing for college, not some lame test. A huge basketball game tomorrow night at the Don Haskins Center. It's not college, but it has Northeast El Paso up against the Lower Valley. You're already giving shout-outs to the team on our Facebook pages. A Los Angeles police shooting and killing a homeless man. You have to check out the discussion some of you and your comments have already sparked. And this is a picture of the New York Times cover. Boy, some of you are beyond angry. This shows you have a lot to say in our social media network tonight. First, though, we have some weather to talk about. ABC-7 issuing that first alert, Nicole.
That's right, Bob. We have so much to talk about. Big changes coming to your forecast. We'll talk about those details in Storm Track Weather. It's
all next on ABC-7 at 9. Get ready. You become part of the day's news right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC-7 at 9 on the El Paso Las Cruces CW.
After a while, you get used to it. It's not the first time El Paso weather has been like this. So, I mean, if you keep up with the weather, you should be prepared.
And that is why our Storm Track Weather team issued an ABC-7 first alert today. So you are prepared for what's in store this week. We saw rain falling for most of the day, and more of the same is on tap for tonight and the next few days. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Bob Harp, along with Nichole Gomez. We will have tonight's social media buzz, but first, let's get to that first alert, Nicole.
Let's talk about what we are expecting. Again, I did mention that we issued that first alert for the changes that are to come. So for tonight, it has been raining throughout the day. Expect more showers to continue to pass through our area. More rain is in the forecast tomorrow. And then on Thursday, cooler temperatures, rain, and possible snow for some areas. But let's take a look at some of the rainfall totals we have picked up so far. Frank Macias Elementary School, North Star Elementary School, 2/10 so far. Valley View Middle School also picking up 0.09 inches of rainfall so far. But again, we're still seeing some of that rain. We'll talk more about what we can expect the rest of your work week. Take a closer look at Doppler radar coming up a little later in the newscast. Bob.
And Nicole, as you know, we asked for viewers to share some weather pictures in our social media network. Ricardo Macias sending us this one from Loop 375 and Railroad. That is out in far northeast El Paso.
And Christina Bonilla shared this photo. Her caption says, would be a perfect weather if only didn't have to drive in it. Well, just remember, we ask that you don't take pictures while you're driving. Plenty more still to come.
Indeed. And if you haven't shared any of your pics with us yet, just visit us on Facebook. We're at KVIA.com. That's a page that we have. And also See You on the CW. And of course, we're on Twitter, ABC7 Breaking and See You on the CW. You can look for your photos right here on ABC7 at 9 throughout this newscast and all week. So as you get connected to our network, let's go and get to the other stories behind tonight's social media buzz. First, students frustrated over a new standardized test walking out of schools all across New Mexico in protest. Now, a few hundred students in Las Cruces, they carried signs and they chanted as supporters drove by and honked their horns. Now, the Partnership for Assessment of Readiness for College and Careers, that's the name of the test, it replaces portions of the standards-based assessment test. Administrators say this test is harder. Parents did have the opportunity, though, to opt out of taking the test or have their child opt out of taking it, but sophomores and juniors still need to pass it to graduate. These parents say it's simply unfair to pressure teachers and students. By the way, we did pay a visit to the Gadsden School District. A district spokesman tells us only 4 students walked out of class at Santa Teresa High School. 3 of them went back to class and 1 ended up calling his parents to be picked up. And like we said, the walkouts were statewide. This is new video tonight that we got out of Albuquerque, where hundreds of high school students from various high schools there also took part in the protest. Now, you were taking part in the discussion happening on our Facebook pages. Now, Jose is sharing this tonight. So is that what we are teaching our kids, to get up and walk away when they are faced with things they don't agree with? And Dina telling us the test prep teachers don't even know the answers. So how do you expect a child to memorize all this? What happened to individualized learning? Now, the discussion is boiling over, and we have much more of what you're saying coming up in just a few minutes. First, though, new today, we have learned a Fort Bliss soldier died while serving in Eastern Africa. Post officials at Fort Bliss saying Private First Class Jerome Swagger died last Thursday. The cause of his death, though, is still under investigation. Tonight, Christina telling us on Facebook, thank you for your service. May God be with his family during this time. And from Andy, may he rest in peace. We thank you for your service, prayers, and condolences to his family. El Paso police still not giving us any new information on the early morning stabbings out in northeast El Paso. At about 6 o'clock this morning, police told us the driver of a truck pulled over at Flory and Portela because he and 2 other men were stabbed at a different location. Police on the scene told us their injuries do not appear to be life-threatening, and this may have happened during a family argument. Well, the search continues for whoever shot 2 people outside of an East El Paso strip club. This happened early Sunday morning in the parking lot of Jaguar's Gold Club. Police saying Del Sol Medical Center employees called police when they got 2 patients with gunshot wounds. We're told both men are now in stable condition. The LAPD is under investigation today after the shooting of a homeless man on Skid Row. It happened yesterday when police tried to arrest the man for robbery, according to those police officers. Now, police saying they had to resort to shooting him when he grabbed an officer's gun. A witness videotaped the incident, and it's going viral tonight online. You can check it out on our Facebook page, and that is where the discussion is underway. OB saying no one knows for sure if he went for the gun. It's all hearsay. And then Aaron saying, I counted about 8 cops and 2 suspects, and they couldn't handle the situation without killing someone. They need a lot more training. Join the discussion right now. Hey, some big changes. They are coming to Escalante Park to prevent theft and fraud by employees from ever happening again in the county. Now, the commissioners are streamlining how the county now handles business at Escalante Park and elsewhere. Some of these changes include how employees collect fees, expect standard fees now Friday through Sunday and special events, $200,000 now spent on new locks, security alarms and cameras, and new technology to cover all areas where money is handled. El Paso City Council getting an earful on economic development. The Borderplex Alliance told the city there are 4 factors El Paso needs to focus on while trying to gain the attention of investors: quality of life, place, workforce, and industry. The CEO of this alliance is saying El Paso must invest in itself first if it wants others to do the same.
Quality of place is also very important, making sure that we have proper air service, that we have ample capacity of electricity, clean and ample water supply. All that needs to be improved, and that's going to require investment on the community's part.
Well, plenty of water supply from the clouds up above. Back to storm track weather and the ABC-7 first alert. This is video that we shot in East El Paso this afternoon near Hawkins. Just one of many areas that really never got a chance to dry out today. And our first alert coverage continues now with a live look at the roads. Everything looks pretty good at this hour. Still a little slick out there, so be careful. We'll use these TxDOT traffic cameras all week so you know exactly what's up outside. New tonight, New Mexico State officials lifting that weather advisory for I-10 between Deming and the Arizona state line. The low visibility because of wind was a big concern. Again, that warning has been lifted just a little while ago. If you're headed out that way, still drive with caution. Now let's get back to our first alert coverage with Nichole Gomez.
And we're still tracking some light activity on Doppler radar, so let's get right to it and track some of that activity. Now, it will continue tonight into tomorrow, but we will get a break from the rainfall before it picks up yet again. Notice the direction of this system. We're seeing some of the darker greens track through Oro Grande, moving in a northerly direction along the Sacramento Mountains, Cloudcroft, Alamogordo, even Ruidoso, picking up some light rainfall. And as we look out towards Silver City, notice we're also seeing some light rain around Sierra Blanca and Van Horn. So we look at the wide view here and notice we're still seeing more rain moving in from the Arizona border. So again, the rainfall will continue overnight. Now here's what we've picked up so far today at the El Paso International Airport. 0.08 in El Paso and Deming. 0.32. Our wind speeds very windy in Ruidoso at 30 miles per hour. We're in the 20s. TRC, Las Cruces, a little lighter here in El Paso. And our gusts, they have been up throughout the evening. 32 miles per hour TRC, and notice Ruidoso, We're at 44 miles per hour. So ahead, we are under that first alert for the next few days, and we're tracking big changes. We're talking cooler temperatures, rain, and even wind, some of which will take place all in the same day. So we'll talk about those details and your first alert coverage coming up in your full forecast.
All right, thanks so much, Nichole. And remember, you can join the discussions by connecting with our social media network tonight. You can look for KVIA.com and see you on the CW on Facebook. Now, Nichole, let's talk about those New Mexico walkouts.
Yeah, students protesting the new standardized test in the state from Las Cruces to Albuquerque, and students left the classroom today in protest.
They did. Michelle telling us tonight she's in favor of this. Good for them. Standardized testing should not have any bearing on whether or not you pass a class or grade. The individual grades should speak for themselves. And Angie agrees almost anything requires a test, driving, for example. But it's different when you go to school and the whole year revolves around one major test. How these kids get frustrated and stressed out at a very early age. Whatever happened to fun in going to school? And this one, Nichole, from Mark.
Mark is against the walkout, saying, at 57, I have found that most jobs require a test, and I hope these kids don't plan on walking out every test they have to take. And then Christabel with this, don't mess around in that state when it comes to exams. If they have an attitude about exams now in general, how are they going to survive college or university? And Miguel with this, not a single one of these students will grow up to be something big in this world.
Amanda, against standardized testing. Standardized testing didn't teach me squat. I was taught my whole life how to take a multiple choice test and not real life issues. I hate those things. So much more to read right now if you go to our Facebook page on this one, and you can join the discussion if you haven't already. And Nichole, they are the two best high school basketball teams in all of El Paso right now.
They're also two of the top teams in the state, and they'll meet tomorrow night at the Don Haskins Center with the spot in the State Elite 8 on the line.
Yeah, if you didn't know at home, the undefeated Bel Air Highlanders ranked number 4 in the state among Class 5A teams, bring an undefeated 32-0 record into the Sweet 16 game. Well, the Andress Eagles, where Nichole and I both went, ranked number 5 in the state, bringing a 30-1 record into the contest. Already some shout-outs tonight, Nichole.
Patty says, go Big Red. And Joelle isn't picking sides. Good luck to both teams. Edgar says, go Golden Eagles.
And Jesus tonight is so excited, he's talking in all caps. Wow, how awesome. And Jennifer has some Eagle spirit. Good luck to both teams, but go Eagles. Dee is cheering, go, go, go Highlanders.
And Jay isn't impressed. Both trash teams.
Yikes, Jay. How about some love for your El Paso teams? All right, hey, well, speaking of basketball, NMSU getting its first sellout of the Pan Am Center since '07. There are no more tickets to the March 7th game against Chicago State. That is when the Ags close out the season after clinching the conference regular season title. Go Ags. And Nichole, I'm sure you've heard all about this one. NMSU actually playing on Wednesday night, even though they were supposed to have this week off. After the break, why Mother Nature is to blame for this one.
And Mother Nature is going to be blamed for a lot this week, Bob. We're talking stronger winds, cooler temperatures, and more rain. Those details on your first alert coming up in Storm Track Weather.
And what story has some New Mexicans angry tonight? Posting on our Facebook things like, I guess the country of Mexico annexed part of the USA when we weren't looking. And another saying, heck, maybe we aren't so new anymore. We've been a state since 1912. We'll tell you what they're talking about coming up. And it's the picture that has you buzzing tonight, a weasel on the back of a woodpecker. We asked you to give us your best caption. Oh, you have us cracking up today. This is ABC 7 at 9 on the CW, where you don't just watch the news, you are the news. We'll be right back.